Hello and welcome to Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tina Jha with News Tonight, where we try and get you all the significant news and updates from across India and the world. India completed 30 days of complete lockdown on Thursday. In the daily press briefing, a member of one of the 12 empowered groups set up by the centre listed 3 key things which the government has done in the last 30 days. So what have been these steps? Let's find out in this report.
Pehla, we've been able to cut transmission, minimize spread, and increase the doubling days, as Love Agrawal has always been speaking to you. Second, we have been able to consistently ramp up our testing. And third, we have been able to utilize this time gainfully for preparing ourselves for the future if the virus spreads further. And anyway, whatever is required to be done, we will need to do. So there has been a lot of action during these 30 days. हजारों लोग, ना सिर्फ हम जो दिल्ली में बैठे हुए हैं, फील्ड में हजारों लोग इस कार्य में लगे हुए हैं, और लोगों ने मिलकर और सरकार ने कई सारे ऐसे कदम उठाए हैं जिसने ये सुनिश्चित किया है कि इन these 30 days we remained more or less stable, and that is the first thing that I want to bring before you. And one of the critical tools, एक अहम हथियार जो हमने इसमें इस्तेमाल किया है, वो टेस्टिंग है. और when I say testing, it is RT-PCR टेस्टिंग, जो हमें बताता है कि मरीज को बीमारी है या नहीं है. अब अगर हम टेस्टिंग को देखें तो मैं सिर्फ एक आंकड़ा आपके समक्ष प्रस्तुत करना चाहूंगा. 23 मार्च को हमने पूरे देश में 14,915 टेस्ट किए थे. On the 22nd of April, we have done more than 5 lakh tests. If you do a rough calculation.
The centre on Thursday said growth in India's COVID-19 numbers has been linear and not exponential. Addressing the daily press briefing, C.K. Mishra, chairman of the Empowered Group 2, said India has done better than most developed countries with respect to the testing. Mishra attributed the better results to the strategy and lockdown, while emphasizing that the testing strategy is evolving.
And one of the critical tools, एक अहम हथियार जो हमने इसमें इस्तेमाल किया है, वो टेस्टिंग है. और when I say testing, it is RT-PCR टेस्टिंग, जो हमें बताता है कि मरीज को बीमारी है या नहीं है. सिर्फ एक आंकड़ा आपके समक्ष प्रस्तुत करना चाहूंगा. 23 मार्च को हमने पूरे देश में 14,915 टेस्ट किए थे. On the 22nd of April, we have done more than 5 lakh tests. If you do a rough calculation, it is about 33 times in 30 days. We are conscious of the fact that this is not enough, and we have to continuously move ahead and ramp testing in this country. We will continue to do that.
India saw over 1,000 COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours on day 30 of the lockdown, taking the number of patients to 21,393. With a recovery of over 19%, 78 districts have not reported any fresh cases in the last 14 days.
देश में 78 ऐसे डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स हैं जहां पर पिछले 14 दिनों से कोई केस नहीं आया है. हमें हर संभव मिलकर यही कोशिश करनी है कि ऐसे जिलों की संख्या निरंतर बढ़ती रहे. इस स्थिति के अंदर देखें तो 33 नए जिले ऐड हुए हैं, जो कि 9 स्टेट में ऐड हुए हैं, जहां पर कि पिछले 14 दिनों से कोई केस नहीं आया है.
Listing fresh exemptions, the Home Ministry said in-house caregivers of senior citizens, prepaid mobile recharge utilities and food processing units in urban areas are exempt from lockdown restrictions.
Merchant shipping vessels पर काम करते हैं. ऐसा देखने में आ रहा है कि भारतीय सीफेयरर्स लॉकडाउन की वजह से जहाज़ों पर स्ट्रैंडेड हैं या जहाज़ों पर ड्यूटी ज्वाइन नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। इस वजह से ये चिंता भी है कि अन्य देशों के सीफेयरर्स ऐसे जहाज़ों पर भारतीय सीफेयरर्स की जगह ले सकते हैं। इसको मद्देनजर रखते हुए सरकार ने उनके साइन ऑन और साइन ऑफ के लिए 21 अप्रैल को एक स्टैंडर्ड ऑपरेटिंग प्रोसीजर जारी किया है।
AIIMS Director Randeep Guleria warned against stigmatizing COVID-19 patients, saying it discourages possible patients from going for testing that could lead to increase in the number of COVID-19 patients. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
On Thursday, India entered its 30th day of national lockdown.
The stringent social distancing and containment has arrested the doubling rate of COVID-19 cases. Cases are now doubling at 7.5 days, up from 3.4 days before the lockdown started on March 24th. 18 states currently have a better doubling rate than the national average of 7.5 days. While cases in Kerala are doubling in 72.2 days, it is 39.8 days in Odisha. The doubling rate is considered a marker of how fast the infection is spreading. It was on that basis the government had extended the lockdown till May 3rd.
डबलिंग रेट ऑफ केसेस, जिसका मतलब है कि कितने दिनों में टोटल केस काउंट डबल हो रहा है, उसको हम अलग अलग इंटरवल्स पर कैलकुलेट करते हैं और जिसके तहत हमने पिछले 7 दिनों के डबलिंग रेट के बेसिस पे जब कैलकुलेट किया तो देखा कि इंडिया का डबलिंग रेट लॉकडाउन से पहले जो 3.4 था, अब वह इंप्रूव होकर 7.5 हो चुका है। और इससे संबंधित और भी एक अच्छी न्यूज़ ये है कि अगर हम 19 अप्रैल तक का डेटा लें तो इस नेशनल एवरेज के तहत 18 स्टेट्स में नेशनल एवरेज से बेटर परफॉर्मेंस और बेटर इंप्रूवमेंट नोटिस किया गया है, जिसमें कि दिल्ली में डबलिंग रेट 8.5 डेज है, कर्नाटका में 9.2 डेज है, तेलंगाना 9.4 डेज, आंध्र प्रदेश 10.6 डेज, जम्मू कश्मीर 11.5 डेज, पंजाब 13.1 डेज, छत्तीसगढ़ 13.3 डेज, तमिलनाडु 14 डेज और बिहार 16.4 डेज। ये जितने राज्य हैं यहाँ पर 20 से कम करीब डबलिंग रेट नोटिस किया गया। इसके साथ ही कुछ राज्यों में 20 से 30 के दिनों में भी डबलिंग रेट नोटिस किया गया, जो उनकी परफॉर्मेंस को दर्शाता है।
Till April 22nd, 4,258 patients had been cured, taking the recovery rate to 19.36% from 17%. Lockdown, tracing and testing strategies have checked the spread of coronavirus in India. Compared to most countries, India has significantly slowed down its growth rate. Initially, it took 5 days for cases to double from 500 to 1,000. Thereon, it was 4 days to go from 1,000 to 2,000 and just 3 to reach the 4,000 mark. Post that, the path from 4,000 to 8,000 was covered in 6 days and 9 days to reach 20,000. Post-lockdown, 33 crore poor people have directly got financial assistance of 31,235 crore rupees under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. As part of the package, the government announced free food grains and cash payment to women and poor senior citizens and farmers. Free rations have been distributed to 39.27 crore beneficiaries. Over 10,000 crore rupees have been disbursed to 20.05 crore women Jan Dhan account holders. 1,405 crore rupees have been disbursed to 2.82 crore old age persons, widows and disabled persons. Under the PM Kisan scheme, an amount of 16,146 crore rupees has been transferred to 8 crore farmers. Around 162 crore rupees have been transferred to over 68,000 establishments as Employees Provident Fund contribution, benefiting 10.6 lakh employees. 2.17 crore building and construction workers received financial support amounting to 3,497 crore rupees. 2.66 crore free Ujjwala cylinders were delivered under the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership has also been praised by many. Microsoft founder Bill Gates said his proactive measures have flattened the COVID-19 curve in India. Gates said the Modi government is fully utilizing its exceptional digital capabilities in its COVID-19 response and has launched the Arogya Setu digital app for coronavirus tracking, contact tracing, and to connect people to health services. The World Health Organization also said the Narendra Modi government has been demonstrating unwavering commitment in its fight against the pandemic. At a recent Union Cabinet meet, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the lockdown had worked on the ground and all states must keep a close vigil in the coming days to overcome the COVID crisis.
And let's now take a look at India's approach and response to COVID-19 so far, ever since the first positive case of coronavirus was reported in the country.
The first coronavirus infection was reported in Kerala on 30th of January. It was the same day that the World Health Organization termed COVID-19 a public health emergency. It was many days later, on 11th of March, that COVID-19 was declared a global pandemic. But taking note of infections in other countries, India had started its preparations to deal with it from 8th January itself. By 17th of January, states were readying health facilities and screening people from abroad. Exports of masks and PPEs were banned on 31st of January. The ban was removed soon after but reinstated on 19th of March.
लगभग हम उसी जगह पर हैं जहां हम एक माह पूर्व थे, यानी स्थिति बहुत बिगड़ी नहीं है। लगभग 4%, 4.5% लोग जो टेस्ट हुए थे वो पॉजिटिव निकले थे एक माह पहले, और अभी भी लगभग वही स्थिति है कि जितने लोग टेस्ट हो रहे हैं उसमें से जो प्रतिशत पॉजिटिव हो रहे हैं लगभग वही हैं, यानी कि हम एक कांस्टेंट लाइन अगर आप इसको देखें तो वहां पर हैं।
India's health system was geared up on a war footing. Indian Railways turned their coaches into wards, while the army and private sector also pitched in. Hospitals dedicated to COVID-19 increased 3.5 times this month. Till 23rd of April, India has 736 COVID-19 hospitals with 1,13,000 isolation beds, 16,000 ICU beds, and 8,945 ventilators. COVID health centers have gone up to 1,297 with more than 80,500 isolation beds, 8,700 ICUs and 3,426 ventilators. 1,741 COVID centers are currently operating with around 1,67,000 isolation beds.
At the beginning of the lockdown, we had about 100 laboratories testing for COVID-19. And today, as we speak, we have 325 laboratories, both government and private, testing for COVID-19.
The lockdown measures have checked the spread of the virus. Without it, millions could have been infected. It is not easy to calculate the success of making 1.3 billion Indians stay home. But citizens have shown faith in the Modi government's resolve to fight against the deadly virus. At the forefront are the COVID-19 warriors, doctors, nurses, healthcare workers, police personnel, bank personnel, businessmen, drivers, delivery executives. Like other countries, India has a difficult choice between disease control and the economy, but everyone agrees the lockdown was necessary.
Meanwhile, the number of COVID-19 cases in India soared past 21,000 on Thursday, with the highest occurrence of cases in Maharashtra, Gujarat and Delhi. The death toll now stands at 686. A central team on Thursday visited a quarantine centre in Rajarhat area in Kolkata to take stock of the situation. 2 ministerial central teams are currently in West Bengal to assess the state's preparedness in tackling the outbreak. West Bengal has seen 456 COVID-19 cases so far. Maharashtra still remains the worst affected state with 5,652 cases, while national capital Delhi has reported 2,248 cases so far. The state police tightened security on the Delhi-Ghaziabad border to check movement of vehicles. In Gujarat, 135 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours, taking the number of COVID-19 cases to 2,407. Ahmedabad has become a hotspot. COVID-19 infections are also rising in Madhya Pradesh's Indore district. Samples of 30 patients tested positive on Thursday, taking the total tally in the district to 945. Madhya Pradesh so far has 1,592 cases of coronavirus. 47 people were confirmed positive for coronavirus in Rajasthan on Thursday, taking its total tally to 1,935. Meanwhile, Karnataka has partially relaxed COVID-19 lockdown norms, allowing IT and IT-enabled services to operate with minimum staff. Certain construction activities, manufacturing of packaging materials, courier services have also been allowed. 16 new coronavirus cases have taken the total infections in the state to 443. After a gap of about a week, another person has tested positive in Assam. Health Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma said the patient was from Dhubri district. Uttar Pradesh reported some positive news, stating that there are no COVID-19 active cases in as many as 10 districts. In Jammu and Kashmir, Pulwama became the first coronavirus-free district. The administration said all its 3 positive COVID-19 patients have successfully recovered. Ladakh in Kargil district is also COVID-19 free. Its 4th corona-positive patient was discharged from the hospital after a 2nd consecutive negative result. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has welcomed the ordinance that makes attack on healthcare workers a non-bailable offence.
In a Twitter message, Naidu said, attacks on health workers rendering selfless service in the fight against COVID-19 pandemic are unfortunate. He said the ordinance will provide safety to frontline warriors who are risking their lives to save others. On Wednesday, the Union Cabinet approved the ordinance to amend the Epidemic Diseases Act 1897 to protect healthcare personnel. It makes acts of violence punishable with imprisonment up to 7 years and fines ranging from 50,000 to 5 lakh rupees. Last night, President Ramnath Kovind gave his assent to the ordinance.
India's First Lady Savita Kovind stitched face masks at Shakti Hart in the President's estate as she made her significant contribution in the fight against COVID-19.
The masks made at Shakti Hart will be distributed across several shelter homes of the Delhi Urban Shelter Improvement Board. The First Lady herself had covered her face and mouth with a handmade red-coloured cloth mask. The First Lady's gesture is being seen as an inspiration to everyone that we can all fight the deadly coronavirus together. The Ministry of Home Affairs has recently made it mandatory for everyone to wear face masks at work and in public places at all times.
Let's now take a look at the COVID-19 situation in other countries as well. The United States of America continues to remain the worst affected COVID-19 country in the world.
COVID-19 has claimed over 47,000 lives so far in America, the highest in the world. The number of infections are over 8,49,000. In a relatively new development, 2 cats in New York State tested positive for the novel coronavirus. It reportedly made them the first pets in the US to be affected by COVID-19. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump signed an order banning immigrants seeking green card for the next 60 days.
It's an executive order on immigration. We want Americans to have the jobs. We want Americans to have the health care. We want to take care of our citizens first. We have to. It's a very powerful order. It's for 60 days. At the end of 60 days, or maybe even during 60 days, I'll extend it or not, and I'll maybe change it. I might modify it.
Italy has recorded over 25,000 deaths so far. The number of cases have gone beyond 1,87,000. However, the number of patients being treated has seen a slight decline as the government is looking to ease the lockdown from 4th of May. With over 22,000 deaths and over 2 lakh cases, Spain is still reeling under the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. France registered 21,340 deaths from coronavirus infections till Wednesday. Infections rose to over 1,59,000. The toll went up at a rate of 2.6% on Wednesday, the same as Tuesday, and remained well below the 4 to 5% rates seen a week ago. UK is likely to extend social distancing till at least the end of this year, the country's chief medical advisor Chris Whitty said. This comes as the death toll has surged past 18,000 and the number of cases rose to over 133,000.
We have to be very realistic that if people are hoping that it's suddenly going to move from where we are now in lockdown suddenly into everything's gone, that is a wholly unrealistic expectation. We're going to have to do a lot of things for really quite a long period of time. I'm very hopeful that we will have vaccines which have proof of concept much earlier than a year, to be clear. And there are very large numbers of people around the world, very good groups, excellent ones in the UK, first vaccine tomorrow into man here. But there is a long path between having a vaccine that's proof of concept and until we have either a vaccine or a drug, it doesn't, I mean, we have managed other epidemics without a vaccine, HIV as an example, where it's managed with a drug or combinations of drugs. But until we have those solutions, yes, what we have available to us are social measures. And that's obviously what we're using and what's the optimal combination of those.
The World Health Organization has warned that coronavirus will stalk the planet for a long time. And many countries in the world are still in the early stages of tackling the pandemic.
The global health body says there were worrying upward trends in early epidemics in parts of Africa and Central and South America. The organization has also warned that it was important to understand the animal origins of the new coronavirus, which jumped the species barrier to humans, and that it could be breached again.
We see different trends in different regions and even within regions. Most of the epidemics in Western Europe appear to be stable or declining. Although numbers are low, we see worrying upward trends in Africa, Central and South America, and Eastern Europe. Most countries are still in the early stages of their epidemics. And some that were affected early in the pandemic are now starting to see a resurgence in cases. Make no mistake, we have a long way to go. This virus will be with us for a long time.
I think it's very, very important that we understand the animal origins of this disease. Not least because it's clear the animal-human species barrier has been breached once. It can be breached again, and we need to understand where that has come from, what are the factors that have led to that, and how that can be prevented in future.
The World Health Organization also expressed hope that the Trump administration would reconsider its suspension of funding for the organization. US President Donald Trump had announced a halt to funding for the WHO last week, while Washington reviews the organization's handling of the coronavirus pandemic. Trump has accused WHO of promoting Chinese disinformation about the virus, saying this had probably worsened the outbreak.
I hope US believes that this is an important investment, not just to help others, but for the US to stay safe also. For US to remain safe, the investment in other countries is very important. It's not just important for other countries, it is important for other countries that US supports, but at the same time it's important for the US itself. So I hope the freezing of the funding will be reconsidered.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address representatives of the village panchayats on the occasion of National Panchayati Raj Day on Friday.
At the interaction through video conference, the Prime Minister will also launch a unified e-Gram Swaraj portal and a mobile app. The unified portal of the Ministry of Panchayati Raj will provide panchayats with an interface to implement their development plans. The Prime Minister will also launch the Swamitva scheme on the occasion to resolve property-related issues.
Ahead of the holy month of Ramzan that is likely to start from midnight, Union Minister for Minority Affairs Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi has urged the Muslim community to follow the social distancing protocol.
Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi told Rajya Sabha TV that the centre has directed state Waqf boards to ensure strict implementation of the lockdown. Their officials have been told to ensure that people follow the guidelines of the Union Home Ministry, state governments and the Central Waqf Council while fulfilling religious responsibilities during Ramzan.
देश के तमाम हिस्सों से, कश्मीर से लेकर कन्याकुमारी तक, जो तमाम धार्मिक संगठन हैं, धर्मगुरु हैं, इमाम हैं, उन सब ने यही कहा है कि इस कोरोना के कहर पर हमें अगर विजय हासिल करनी है, हमें उससे निजात हासिल करनी है, तो हमें पूरी तरह से जो दिशा निर्देश हैं, उन दिशा निर्देशों का, चाहे वो केंद्र सरकार के हों, चाहे राज्य सरकारों के हों, चाहे स्थानीय प्रशासन के हों, उनको हमें अक्षरशः उसका पालन भी करना है और ईमानदारी से उस पर आगे भी बढ़ना है। आप जैसा कि जानती हैं कि रमजान में लोग मस्जिदों में नमाज पढ़ते हैं, ईदगाहों में पढ़ते हैं, कुछ सार्वजनिक स्थलों पे भी नमाज होती है, इफ्तार होते हैं, तरावियां होती हैं। सभी लोगों ने ये निर्णय किया है कि चाहे वो रमजान में, चाहे वो नमाज हो, चाहे इफ्तार हो, चाहे तरावी हो, या और भी जो कर्तव्य है रमजान के समय के धार्मिक कर्तव्य, उनको हम सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग का ध्यान करते हुए घरों पर ही उसको पूरा करें।
Naqvi said there is an urgent need to refute misinformation about isolation centers by making people aware that they are meant to protect against the pandemic.
ये सोशल मीडिया पर जो एंटी सोशल एक्टिविटी चल रही है, इसको पूरी तरह से रिजेक्ट करना चाहिए और पूरी तरह से लोगों को भी आगाह करना चाहिए कि ये जो वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट है, ये जो निहित स्वार्थी तत्व हैं, ये लोगों की, समाज की सेहत और सलामती के दुश्मन है, बेहतरी के दुश्मन है, हिफाजत के लोगों के दुश्मन है और इनसे पूरी तरह से होशियार है।
The Shahi Imam of Delhi's Jama Masjid has also urged Muslims to pray from home as the holy month of Ramzan is about to begin. He added that if we follow the government's instructions, we will be able to eradicate coronavirus soon.
2 दिन के बाद रमजान का मुबारक महीना शुरू होने वाला है और रमजान मुबारक के ताल्लुक से उलमा की शरई राय मुल्क के सामने आ चुकी है कि 5 वक्ता नमाजें और तरावी घरों में ही पढ़नी है और सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग बनाए रखना निहायत ज़रूरी है।
And that's it from us on News Tonight. Thank you for your time. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy. Good night.